Hi, it's Debbie Williams here, an NLP trainer and hypnotherapist. I just want to share with you a couple of tips that if you binge eat, or even if you have bulimia, that can actually stop you from overeating. Now, when you think about it, if you go into the feeding frenzy of just eating and eating and eating, it feels out of control. One of the reasons being it is an addictive style of behaviour where the brain has learned of having a binge is a good thing. It's a little bit like a heroin addict who the first time they have some heroin, it's absolutely wonderful. Now the brain is thinking this is good, and they can go through a detox, get clean of the drug, but come out into their old environment and somebody says to them, oh, would you like to score some gear? The immediate thought is they have an image in mind of the initial pleasure that it gave them, and they think, oh yes, I'll do that. But the mistake is they don't play the full movie. Now, if they were to play the full movie in mind of how it feels over time, they would see that if they took the drug, yes, there's an initial high, but then the come down, the experience of that is far more unpleasant than the initial high that they get up front. And with binge eating or even bulimia, it's the same. You've linked to the immediate pleasure of what's in front of you now. Ooh, I'm going to have this, I'm going to have this. But you don't play how it feels over time. So if we can find a way to interrupt the first bit so that you don't overeat the rest, then we start to break that pattern. One of the ways that we can do that is making the decision, first of all, to put out just 3/4 on your plate, or 3/4 of a binge. I say to bulimics, put out a third, because they tend to have a lot of food and throw up, but they can only get half of it up, so half of it stays in their body anyway. So if they make a decision just to eat a third of the binge, their body can actually process it and they don't have to do the sick bit. But what people say to me is, after I've eaten less, what happens if I still want to eat? Well, there's a little rule that I say take on board, and it's the 20-minute rule. And I've used this literally with thousands of private clients that I've worked with over the years, and I get them to chart it. I have purpose built sort of material that I give them to work with to chart success. And as they record sticking to the 20-minute rule, what it is after you've eaten that binge or that 3/4 of the food, you make a decision that I can have some more, but if I do, I have to wait 20 minutes first. And so it's just a short space of time that you have to manage. So whether you go and make yourself a cup of tea, or phone a friend, or tidy some paperwork up, anything to distract yourself for 20 minutes. Because what happens in that 20 minutes is the food has gone from the mouth to the stomach, and it takes that time to send the signals back up to the brain to switch off the appetite. And I hear over and over again from clients that, wow, that 20-minute rule really, really works. And there's other tools as well that I use that sort of integrate with that, which it will take me a lot more time than just a few minutes to talk about. But I put most of those onto my recordings, which if you go to my website, you'll find that you'll be able to read up about them. And the products themselves start from £15 to the dearest is £27. And they're all like a therapy session in and of themselves, but the beauty is you have the opportunity to listen to them over and over, and they're for a fraction of the cost of what it would be to see me one-to-one, because I want to help more people, and by putting my work onto recordings, I feel I'm able to do that. Okay, great talking to you today, and speak to you soon. Bye now.